walks around. So we do have to make sure all of our cows get a pedicure every year. Cows got to look pretty too, right? She does live in Orange County. Now we do have some cool technology now. She has a tag, you can't really see it. There's a little white button tag inside there. It's called a radio frequency ID tag. Nowadays, instead of having to write things down, we have a little scanner that we can hold in our hand. We point it at the cow, push a button, and it downloads all that cow's information right into our iPad, of course, while we're out on the farm. It's pretty cool. And when the cow comes in to get milked every day, every time she walks in the doorway of the milking barn, it scans her ear tag as well, so we know who's in the milking barn. So it's pretty cool technology. All right, does the cow eat the same way we do?
By the teacher.
At least not most of us. All right, how do we get our food in our mouth? Hands, a bunch of savages. Fork and a spoon, right? Thank you very much. All right, how do we hold the fork and spoon? With our hands. Why? Because mom and dad don't like our feet on the table. Okay? I don't know why. As long as they're clean, what's the difference, right? All right, does a cow have hands? No. Do we have a full set of teeth? Some of us might. If you don't worry, you'll get there. All right, does a cow have a full set of teeth? That's a tricky question. A cow has 32 teeth, just like all of you will have as you get older. Okay, however, like old Milkshake here, her teeth do not fill up her entire mouth like ours do. She has teeth on the top and the bottom and the back called molars. On both sides they're called molars. There's 24 of them. Then she has a row of teeth on the bottom front called incisors. There are 8 of those. What's 24 plus 8?
32.
Yeah, 32 last time I checked. So that means there are no teeth on the top front part of her mouth. It's a big empty space. It's called a dental pad. It kind of reminds me of my grandpa. All right, so if that's the case, think really hard. When we chew our food, how do we chew? We chew up and down or side to side? Up and down. How does a cow chew? Side to side. And when we chew our food up and down, we break it into tiny little pieces before we swallow. What does a cow do? Does she break it up or does she grind it up? She grinds it up. So we take our fork and spoon, shovel our food into our mouth, chew it up, break it up, swallow it, it goes down the throat into the stomach. Digestive system takes over, voila, we're done. We don't have to worry anymore, do we? No? Not unless it was bad Taco Bell? It's like a bad 2 or 3 days. Been there, huh? All right, is it the same for a cow? Not even close. She doesn't have any hands. She wants to get her food in her mouth, she uses her tongue. Her tongue's about that long. It's like a big piece of sandpaper. You know what the cool part is? She can lick her own nose. But wait, there's more. I don't mean just a little lick like some of you guys can do. She can get way up inside and do some serious cleaning. That's right. What? Hey, don't be jealous. If you could, you would. All right, so she's going to reach down like she's doing now, grab a bite of food with her tongue, push it to the back of her mouth where the molars are, start chewing side to side so she can grind it up. As she does that, she is going to swallow it. It goes down her throat, into her stomach, and here's where it starts to get tricky. All right, it's time for your big test. Y'all ready? How many stomachs does a cow have? Good grief, it's like going to an auction. All right, how many of you think 4? 3, 2, 1, sold. Ready for this? The cow has 1 stomach. However, before you start throwing the books that told you wrong at me, inside that 1 stomach there are 4 separate compartments. All right, so how many stomachs? 1. How many compartments? We call those types of animals ruminants, and here is how the ruminant stomach works. Now this is really cool. Ruminants are very unique because they have a very complex digestive system, so they can take low quality proteins through their digestive process, turn into high quality proteins so they can eat things that you and I can't eat. About 80% of a dairy cow's diet are things that you and I cannot eat. All right, so when she swallows her food, it goes into compartment number 1 called the rumen. That is the largest compartment in her stomach because it holds all of the water. Now the job of the rumen is to take that food and wash it around and get it all wet. Okay, has anyone here ever put a cookie in a glass of milk before? All right, who forgot to take the cookie out of the milk? All right. Now if you don't take the cookie out of the milk, what happens to it? It gets soggy, mushy, falls apart. Is it easier to eat that way? It is. It's nasty, but it's easier to eat. All right, so if we take Milkshake's food, throw that in a bucket of water for a little while, is it going to get soggy? It is. Is it going to be easier to eat? Yeah, just like the cookie, it's nasty, but it's easier to eat. So that's what's happening here. Food's rolling around inside the rumen, getting all wet, soggy, mushy, and nasty. Now, when that part's done, here comes the best part of all. You ready for this one? Yeah, hold on to your britches. She is going to regurgitate. Yeah, she's going to bring a big old chunk of food. It's about that big. Okay, stick with me, it gets better. It's going to come out of her stomach, up her throat, right back into her mouth, and she is going to chew it a second time. Now, don't be jealous. Never tastes right the second time around. All right, now when they do that, that is called chewing their cud. All right, what do we call it? Chewing their cud, that's right, not chewing their crud, so don't confuse the two. Now, when a cow chews her cud, we know she's happy, we know she's healthy. Most important, we know her digestive system's working properly. And she's going to chew her cud for about a minute or so, then it gets better. You know what she does now? She swallows it again. I told you it gets better. I can't say it didn't warn you. All right, now this time it's going to go right on past the rumen into compartment number 2 called the reticulum. Now the reticulum is basically a great big filter, and it does a little bit of work inside there. As it finishes, it comes out the back here, makes a U-turn here on Delmar Heights Road, goes into compartment number 3 called the omasum. Now the omasum is a great big sponge. It's going to absorb water and moisture from what's left in the food there, so it can use that to stay healthy and hydrated, and it sends the food right on down the road here into compartment number 4 called the abomasum. Now the abomasum, sometimes you'll see it in books called the true stomach. It's just a compartment, but it's the only compartment in a ruminant stomach that has acids to help digest and break down the rest of the food. Now once her food is digested, all the good stuff can go to work. Protein and calcium for strong bones, teeth, and muscles. Vitamins and minerals, very important to keep the cow strong and what? Healthy. What about energy though? Does she need a lot of energy? Yeah, look at her, she weighs 1,000 pounds or so, so that requires a lot. What about the fact that she's a dairy cow and has to make a lot of milk? Requires a lot of energy. What about when it gets cold outside? She's got to stay warm, right? Needs a lot of energy. All right, how many of you think cows are mammals? Raise your hand. Very good. How many of you think mammals are warm-blooded? Raise your hand. Very good. How many of you raise your hand? Because I'm raising my hand. Very good. Normal body temperature of a cow is 101.5 degrees. Now, if we compare that to the normal human body temperature, which is 98.6, that means a cow is almost 3 degrees warmer than we are. So, if we were to walk up and touch a cow, would it be warm?
Yep.
A little bit. What if we take milk from a cow? Is the milk going to be warm?
Yep.
It sure is. Right out of the cow, milk is 100 degrees. Do you like your milk that warm? I don't blame you, not unless you're Starbucks. All right, so we got a cow here. She's a mammal. She's making milk. That means she's a mother. If she's a mother, what does she have to have?
Baby.
She's got to have a baby. All mammals must have a baby before they can make milk. So, in Milkshake's case, what do we call her baby? Calf. A little boy is called a bull calf. A little girl is called a heifer calf. Now, the average size of a newborn calf, well, usually it's between 50 and 80 pounds. But check this out. I have had calves born as small as 30 pounds. I have had calves born as large as 140 pounds. Wow. It's a lot like Grandma's birthday present. Never quite sure what you're going to get. Sometimes you may not even want it. Now the calves do go very fast when they turn 1 year old. Mine always sent me like brown socks or something. I don't know what the deal was. All right, so when they turn 1 year old, we don't call them a calf anymore. Now we just call them a bull and a heifer. So at 1 year old, our bulls should weigh somewhere between 700 and 1,000 pounds. Heifers usually weigh between 500 and 800 pounds. Now they are going to grow for another year. When they are 2 years old, they are now full grown. So at 2 years old, our bulls should weigh somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,700 to 2,000 pounds, maybe a little more. Heifers usually will weigh between 800 and about 1,500 pounds. Now, also at 2 years old, very important because our heifer is going to have her very first what? Her very first calf. Now, once she has her first calf, we don't call her a heifer anymore. What are we going to call her? A cow. So what do you think Milkshake is, a heifer or a cow? She's a cow, and we know that because how old is she? 5 years old. So does that mean she's had a calf already? In theory, right? How many do you think she's had? She's had 3 so far. She looks good, doesn't she? She works out every day. She does 60 minutes of exercise every day, just like you're supposed to do, right? She does a little yoga. You never heard the downward cow? She likes to lift a little bit of weights. A little cardio. She has her own custom-made pair of Lululemon workout pants. It's rather disturbing. All right, now once a cow has her calf, what is she going to make?
Milk.
A lot of milk. The cow's going to make milk for 10 months. They get milk twice a day, every day, for 305 days. It's called a lactation cycle. While our cow is lactating, we are going to call her a fresh cow. And we call her a fresh cow because she's making fresh milk. All right. At the end of that 10 months, our cow gets to go on a very well-deserved vacation for 2 months. For those 2 months, she does not produce any milk. She is going to lay around, do a whole lot of nothing. Talk to the other cows, play tricks on the farmer, maybe go and make a few Chick-fil-A commercials. Got to pay for the Lululemons. They're not cheap. She's a state employee. All right, so for those 2 months, we call her a dry cow. We call her a dry cow because she's not making any milk. So the easy way to remember it is your cow does 10 months of lactation, then she gets 2 months of vacation. At the end of that vacation, she is going to start over and have another calf. And that repeats every year, as long as she has at least 1 calf every year. All right, but think about this. Can a cow have twins? Yeah. Triplets? Yep. Quadrupeds? Possible. Thank goodness not very often. It is most common, and we prefer that they have just one. All right, it's time for the big question now. You ready for this one? Has anyone here ever milked a cow before? That's it? Man, what do y'all do for fun around here? Well, I know, play Fortnite, right? All right. Who wants to learn how to milk a cow? All right, here we go. Very quietly, put your hands in the air. Everybody wiggle those fingers. Let's get them all loosened up. With one hand, make a fist with a thumb down. With the other hand, put it around the thumb. You're going to start at the top and you're going to squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4. Every time you squeeze, pull down just a little bit. Not too much, though you don't want to upset your cow. There you go. You're all professional milkers. That's all it takes. Now, let's say you're watching television. How do they do it on television? It's like they're driving a tractor. Hey, I'm Farmer Joe. You think cows really like that? No, they don't. My name's not Joe either. It's my brother's name, actually. He's not a farmer, though. He does drive a tractor. He works construction, but he don't know which end the cow does what he does over in Mason. All right, so think about it. If I were to walk up to old Milkshake here, grab onto her udder and squeeze really tight and start yanking and pulling, gotta have a little rhythm there. That's all the rhythm I have. All right, what do you think she's gonna do? Kick the living daylights out of me, that's right. The reason I know, well, it's happened more than once. Well, that explains a lot, doesn't it? Wheels are spinning, New Hampshire's long gone. All right, so if you're gonna milk a cow, 3 very important things you need to know. Number 1, you gotta be nice. Number 2, you gotta be gentle. Number 3, she is a large animal. Treat her with what? Respect. Are you ready to see how it's done?
Yes.
All right, so you walk up to your cow. You say, hey there, sweetheart, how you doing? You just gotta know how to talk to them, right? You can learn a lot working with cows. You know what the cow says? She says, here we go again. So we're gonna take a little stroll down south to what we like to call the business end of the cow. There's a lot that goes on back here. Money in, money out. Say, please don't kick me. I'll love you forever. Give her a little rub for good luck. A little bit of a squeeze, a little bit of a tug. Hey, there goes some milk. Then we're going to switch hands, give her a little rub for good luck. Give her a little bit of a squeeze, a little bit of a tug, and hey, oh my goodness. How about that? It's like going to SeaWorld. You might get wet. That's why we space you back. All right. Did I have to squeeze really hard? Did I have to pull really hard?
Nope.
I don't want to get kicked. Now, let's pretend we're in a dairy. We're going to watch the dairy milk some cows. Do they milk their cows by hand at a dairy?
No.
No, why not?
Because they use machines.
Well, I know they use machines, but why not do it by hand?
It's safer.
Takes too stinking long, right? Takes one person over 30 minutes to milk one cow by hand. Okay, think about it. Milkshake's dairy has just over 2,000 cows to milk twice a day. Do they have enough time to do it by hand?
No.
It'll take them all week, right? So to make life just a little easier, what do they use? Machines. We have so we use machines, technology. So at the dairy, we have a building called a milking parlor. Inside the milking parlor is our milking machine. Along with our milking machine, we have milking stalls almost like the ones she's in here. Now, Milkshake's dairy, they're pretty cool. They're a fairly new dairy. They built that dairy about 15 years ago. They use what's called a rotary milking setup. So it looks like a great big merry-go-round. It takes about 8 minutes to make one full rotation. Their rotary milker holds 60 cows, and they can milk 60 cows at one time. So all we have to do is bring in a group of cows from the dairy into the wash pen, get them all lined up. Now think really hard. Do our cows need to be cleaned before they come in for milking?
Yes.
Yeah, we don't want dirt and mud around our milk, do we? No, we don't want that kind of chocolate milk. So we turn on some sprinklers. We call it the cow car wash. Run the cows through the old cow car wash, give them the daily special, bring them into the parlor and put them in the stall. Then we lock her head in the head gate so she doesn't run away, because I tend to have that effect on people from time to time. Then we come over here with a paper towel, make sure that there's nice, clean, dry, disinfectant, throw the paper towel away. We never share paper towels from one cow to the other for sanitation reasons. And then we grab one of these bad boys right here.